And hello, Ian. Still having trouble getting the player to play here with a big error. An error on the YouTube player on both the watch page and on the regular page. So I'm trying to see what the error is. And even the error page. Okay, here's some error messages. Alright, if you're getting a player error message, most of the time the video should start working again in about 30 minutes. An error can sometimes happen if the uploader is making changes to the video. Or there's an issue with the internet connection speed. Yeah, that wasn't very helpful. That was not very helpful page either. Yeah, okay, let me refresh that page and see what happens. Probably nothing, because I've tried that before. And the streaming's working okay. There's no errors. I did change a couple of settings, but that shouldn't have made any difference. Yep, still an error. Okay, let me go back to the control room page. And it says it's working okay. Stream status is good, it says. The health is good at 434. Preview and the public view. Okay. I have no idea why the various video players aren't working. Okay, let's see. So I'm guessing, Ian, that everything looks fine, right? Because I can't really see anything. And it looks like in London, something about a missing teenager named Jaden Parkinson. And in an event, so what we're doing today is continuing our experimenting with the YouTube live events feature, where you can broadcast to live YouTube through their new features. And so they've got quite a lot of instructions on it that will take actually a couple hours if you go through all the different instructions and watch all their different videos. And still a couple questions remain unanswered, like how to get the video players to work for the broadcaster. And then another question. Oh, actually, I think I figured that one out on my two earlier broadcasts. it appeared that you'd have to download all the media encoder stuff for each separate broadcast. Well, I looked at them closely, and it turns out they keep the same key. So you don't have to do that. So you just start your media encoder and then start the broadcast, and everything should be good. And then we have set our media encoder to slow bit rates or lower bit rates. And at the current time, it is set at 200 kbps for the bit rate on the audio, and 56 for the audio and 200 for the video. And the idea is to try to keep your bit rate, total bit rate, in my case 256, lower than your upload internet speed. And then you're supposed to set the frame rate at 30 frames per second, and I set it at 15, so that should save a little bit of room. And then the output size is 425 by 240. And I did notice that when you play back the videos, it's streaming actually at 240 in height, but when you play it back later, you have an option to play it an even smaller size. So if you had a slow connection or you're on a mobile device or something, you could use the 144 height. But this one is streaming at the 240 size. And I've got the video or the audio set as low as it can go for the bit rate, and it still sounds quite good. So I don't know why they were having people, or they were suggesting to have a higher bit rate. Instead of 56, they were suggesting 140 something. I can't remember the exact number, but it did seem to be a little bit higher than you would actually need. And then the other time, when I broadcast earlier today, I had the bit rate set the same, but I had the frame rate set at 30 frames per second. And I was getting some error messages, but even with the error messages, it didn't seem to affect the video that was actually coming out. So the only other thing I wanted to try is to try to make an even smaller frame size or output size, so that the size that comes out that you watch is a little smaller. And theoretically it would be even clearer, although this one's pretty clear because we were playing around earlier today and you can actually read the writing on the Sony Handycam. So it was fairly decent, even at a low bit rate and a little smaller video. And then we played around with trying to see if the background would have any difference when you're streaming at a slow internet speed. Because theoretically, if you have a background that's very detailed and you have on clothing that's really detailed, or even hair that's detailed, as it turned out, it can affect the encoding, which kind of slows down the encoding. It takes a little bit more processing. So the recommendation is to keep everything real simple, and they even suggest to wear just a solid color like a gray, brown, or blue, and not wear like red or some bright colors, not wear anything with patterns or stripes and so forth, because that would tend to slow down the encoding. Now, if you had a very fast internet in a powerful computer, probably is not going to affect it that much, but if you're operating with computers that aren't quite so powerful and slower internet speeds, you would need to take care of making sure your encoder is not going to get messed up. Okay, now we got a message here at 4:42, which is right now. Said we recommend using a stream bit rate value of 400. And I've got 200. Looks like the average I'm using is about 191. Let me verify that on the Adobe page, and it's saying that my average bit rate is about 200 on the video, which is what I have it set at, and 55 on the audio, so that's about what I have it set at. Okay, and then up here at the currently the video is going between like 93 and 315, so it's just jumping up and down with the 15 frames per second. So the video does jump up and down as we've been broadcasting here. So the message, I'll have to try that the next time, is set the stream bit rate to 400 instead of 200, although I think that's going to cause some problem. But it does say the stream status is okay, the health is good. So I'll take their advice and see how that works. And meanwhile, it is a Sunday afternoon here in LaBelle, Florida, and we're broadcasting as usual, having a history of broadcasting every day for many years on Justin TV. And now playing around with the live broadcasting on YouTube. And so you could see this on my YouTube channel. You can see it on my Google Plus channel. I haven't checked that. Is the Google Plus channel got live video on it? I think it should have. Let me see. And there's several ways you can go to the Google Plus thing. You can go to google.com/+Don Browne. Okay, let me see if we're broadcasting live on google.com/+Don Browne. It's taking a little while to load here, but I am guessing. Okay, there's my picture. No, I don't. Or do I see it? Yeah, there it is. It's right there on the right-hand side. Shared publicly at 4:29 p.m. I'm doing a live YouTube event broadcast from LaBelle, Florida. I'll explain how to set up for a live event using the new capabilities introduced this week by Google. And then, yeah, you just click on the arrow there and the live video would start. It's very starting. Yeah. So anyway, for those of you who are interested in using the live broadcast capability on YouTube, now this is different than the Hangouts. The Hangouts, you can have what they call a little party, so you're just broadcasting video among a group of people. You can have a Hangout on air where you're broadcasting and it's live on YouTube, and then it's actually saved on YouTube as well. And you can have up to 10 people broadcasting simultaneously on the Hangout on air. Now the live event, which is this one, it's just one person broadcasting, and I'm not sure if there's a limit. On the Hangouts there's a 4-hour limit, although you can only edit 2 hours, or you can only edit a 2-hour Hangout. Now on the live events, I'm almost thinking that there may be no limit or something. I know there's certain people that have no limit, but like if you're doing some weekend all all-day, all-night event or something, you could just keep broadcasting. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't seen that laid out exactly how long you can broadcast. But anyway, so this live broadcast, the idea is you can schedule it ahead of time, and it's a public. On the Hangouts on Air, you have to send invitations to your circles, and there's some limitation on how many people you can invite at one time. Now, there's ways to broadcast it to anyone that wants to watch, but it's kind of a weird way of doing it, because you got to advertise the link to the Hangout, and then people who want to see the Hangout can go to the link or even join it. Now, on the live events, it automatically goes out to the public, and it's also listed on the youtube.com live page. In fact, let me go there just to see where it is, because now earlier it was listed as a coming event. Okay, so that's the youtube.com/live. And I think I have the category on this is how to. I think it's called How To. Let me check. Okay, I'm on the live page, and there's featured live events. And those are usually, I think, well, they've only got 4 of them here. But there's some sort of a advertising link up. And then they have recommended for you ones, and I see some kind of a sports thing, some kind of a Russian thing. I don't know how they recommended those. And then you've got the sports live things, and then you got news and politics, you got gaming, you have music, and a lot of these, there are no current ones. They're like ones that have been recorded some time ago, which is surprising. Like music, these are all been recorded. Well, one was recorded a couple hours ago, one was 4 days, one was a month ago. Okay, you got Google Hangouts on Air, so there's usually quite a few of those going, and some of them are current and some of them were recorded some time ago. You've got autos and vehicles, and then you have comedy, and most of those are upcoming, in fact. And then there's education, and those are upcoming usually. And then there's entertainment, and there's film and animation, and a lot of that's people playing games. Okay, and there it is. And then the next category is live, how to, and style. So they have me on the first column there, how to create YouTube live events. It says 3 is watching, and it started 18 minutes ago, and you would click on that, and that would open up the live broadcast. And then next to me is somebody from, I don't know where, Tibet or something, because it's some kind of weird writing by Chu Danklai, and it started 15 hours ago. And then there's next one is some other foreign language. It started 2 months ago. Let's see what else. And then there's something tailor-made, which is upcoming. Looks like they got one every day Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And I'm not sure what tailor-made is, unless it's some kind of a clothing how-to thing. And then next week they got upcoming Weekly Woo Woo 106, whatever that is. And then upcoming on Friday is Rick Drayson Live. On Friday they've got Tough and Tender 108. And so there's, most of those are how to and style are coming up, scheduled ones. Okay, and then the next category is nonprofits and activism. And it looks like there's some church stuff in there. And then there's live people and blogs. And those look like they're Arabic mostly because they're using Arabic. And there seems to be a lot of those over in the Mideast, people doing the live things. And until recently, most of these live events were actually from different countries. I think they maybe had some kind of a licensing thing they had to work out. But I'm not sure. And then there's pets and animals, and these were recorded months and weeks ago as well. And then there's science and technology, and there's some coming up, so there's nothing going on at the moment, it looks like. Okay, and then they've got travel and events, and looks like some kind of Spanish one, some kind of an Italian one, some kind of a Scottish one. Oh, these were recorded a while ago. And then the last category is Call of Duty Black Ops 2. So folks that have the Call of Duty video can go onto that particular channel and they just stream their multiplayer games onto YouTube Live. So anyway, that's kind of a rundown on the youtube.com/live page. And let's see, now we'll go back. I want to see if I've been having some trouble with my player playing, because it shows an error. Okay, I'll try it now. It's almost been a half hour since I tried it last. And let me see if it will show an error or not. Error. It says please stand by. And Ian left a message a few minutes ago. Said camera 2. Oh, and Vinny's in there. Okay, I didn't even notice. Yeah, Vinny, I'm having trouble with getting the... it's an error every time I try to play the player. So I didn't realize anybody was in here. But Vinny says, live stream is freezing a bit now. Let me know if you prefer comments in here or Hangout text. Yeah, this is good enough as long as I'm looking at it. Although I'm looking at the what they call the live control room, and it shows the comments, but it doesn't allow me to respond with a text to the comments. And the stream rate is 200 as before, and the next experiment I'll do it at 4 they're suggesting and see what happens. But I'm thinking, because I did the 500 and that's the one that was freezing. And so everything is set exactly the same as the one a few hours ago, except that I put the frame rate at 15 instead of the 30, because as it turned out, it turned into 15 anyway. So I'm trying that. And the lighting is pretty much the same. Of course, the camera's facing the same. Let's see if there's any... there's no dropouts on the encoder. We've been on the encoder for half an hour. And the video bitrate does go up and down from like 93 to 300, up and down, up and down. So it's not real steady. The audio one's real steady at about 57. And let's see, and then Ian says cam 2. I'm not sure what Ian means, because I don't have... You can set up more cameras, but each camera multiplies the amount of bandwidth that you need, and so there's no way I would be able to add a second camera. Although, now I think about it, if I used the ManyCam program, I could do it that way. Yeah, in fact, I'll have to experiment with that too, because that should work. But on the live video, they have a process where you can add cameras. They call them angles or something. So you can have different camera shots and then just go between them. And I'm thinking that would also allow you to somehow, because if you wanted to do some graphics or something, I was trying to figure out how you would do that. You could stream those through the camera, or you would hook up, instead of a camera, you'd hook up a video player to output it into the live video. I guess that's how that would work. But it would be nice to have a whole bunch of cameras set up. That'd be kind of interesting. And I just still can't get the video players to play. And there doesn't seem to be any real reason, unless it's just some glitch on their end. Or maybe it's just because I'm using such a low bandwidth that it doesn't have enough room to play a video as well as send the video. Although, I can't remember. And I guess I was not, well, yeah, I was seeing it before, but I was seeing it on the watch page. Okay, so I'll go to the watch page. Alright, now they've the new message. Okay, I had a message at 4:42, 10 minutes ago, and it was saying they recommend the bitrate of 400. And at that time, I think the message says stream status is okay or something like that. Okay, now it says the health is good, and it's in green, so it says stream status good. So I wonder, so maybe I get to 400. It just takes the server some time to catch up or something, who knows. Okay, so far we've had, it says total view time hours. We've wasted 1 hour of people's time. That would be Ian and Vinny. And peak concurrent is 4. So I guess that's referring there's been 4 people at the same time here.